Hello, 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 hello. Peace and blessings. Good evening. Glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. Thank each and every single one of you for pulling up. Welcome to another episode of Assembly of Excellence. Let's get into it.
If you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful, as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And I'm here to tell you, number one, that most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. You don't want it bad and then you want to party. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep. Some of you love sleep more than you love success. And I'm here to tell you today, if you're going to be successful, you got to be willing to give up sleep.
We are back. One more day among the land of the living. I couldn't be more excited, more grateful. We got a lot to talk about tonight. But before we get into that, you know how I like to do. I got to give my flowers, my appreciation, show my gratitude to my artists, my writers, my poets, my composers, each and every single one of you who has left an imprint, not only on me, but the hearts and the minds and souls of other people that you have touched along the way. Your time, your effort, your energy, your passion is not for waste. It is seen, it is recognized, and it is very much appreciated. And if no one else has said it to you, I want you to know right now you are heard, you are felt, you are seen, and your gift is very much necessary and needed more now than ever. So, no matter what you got going on or whatever you have that is keeping you from doing the things that you would like to do to the fullest of its extent, I ask right now that you remove anything that's refraining you from walking completely in your purpose. And that's just real talk.
Shit like that, bro.
If you are familiar with anything that I do on this side of the internet, then you know that when we have these conversations, they can be very sensitive, they can be controversial, they can really trigger a lot of people. It's not for everyone. I'm not politically correct. I don't hold my tongue. I allow each and every single person that steps in front of this platform to speak their mind and to share their wisdom as I'm growing just like the next person is. It's a safe space. It's a place to where you can truly be yourself. You can truly give all that you wish to give to the general public. The conversations that are discussed here are meant and designed to serve a purpose, to help heal, to help pull people out of the dark, to bring and expose certain injustices that happens in our community and society on a daily basis. That being said, tonight we have some special guests that we'll be pulling up. You're not familiar with these people, but when it's all said and done, you will be very familiar with them. This particular gentleman that I'm going to bring to the stage is someone that I have worked with prior on many streams. He's an author, he's a father, and this is probably one of the most intellectual souls that has ever stepped in front of a camera in terms of anything that I had going on. Y'all make sure you show some love to this brother, man. Here we go. Hello, 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 hello.
How you doing? Thanks for having me. Much
Peace and
appreciated.
blessings, brother. How you feeling today, man?
Good, I'm good. Thank you for having me on.
You know, no problem, no problem. You know, things have kind of been a little shaky with social media over the last couple years, especially in the poetry community. I had to step back and rethink some things in terms of my content and what I was using my platform for. So I wanted to veer away from just doing spoken word a little bit and actually do something that involved more of the people. You know, we follow each other, we engage to a certain degree, but we don't really have that communion. So I thought, why not begin to have these discussions on a bigger scale, where folks aren't going to be censored or afraid to speak their mind on certain things that's going on.
That's a beautiful thing you're
For the
doing.
people who don't know, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Why don't you introduce yourself to the people, man? For those who don't know who you are, like this is your first time on this particular live stream, but you're no stranger to anything that I've done. So I just want to give you an opportunity to, you know.
All right. Hello, everybody out there. My name is Derek Marrow, Philadelphia born and raised. I'm a like you said, I'm a dad. I'm a husband. Uh, I'm an author. I wrote a couple books. Uh, very varied topics. So um, I'm a coach. I coach football. I coach baseball. So just all around busy guy. Thanks for having me on again.
No problem, no problem. What's your secret, man? You've been around for a while, man. What's keeping you young? What's keeping you active? What's keeping you writing these books, man? How do you keep the energy and the mental capacity to continue to do what you're doing?
I think just writing in general is really cathartic, right? It helps you. I'm a type of person where my mind is always going, so it's always running. So help writing is just an easy way to get all of those thoughts out on paper. Um, it's you know it's the saying where I don't know if you know where they say writing is like spilling your blood on paper, and that's for me. That's what it is. It's just it gets the emotions out. When you sad or you're up or you're down, you can get those things on paper and you can share those with other people because everybody's going through something. Everybody has ups and downs and and emotions here and life decisions here, and so for me, it was just a way to to get it out. And why stop now?
I feel you on that for sure. Writing for me is completely therapeutic. If I didn't have it, I don't know how I would deal with everyday life, because that's my outlet. That's how I release my stress, my frustrations, my joy. That's where I get my tranquility. Even when there's days where I don't feel like writing, I could just be having one of those moments, and I instantly just go to creating some type of poem in my head. So that's a beautiful thing, man, that you're still able to do it, and do it with such, passion. Because a lot of people, don't have the same strength to keep on doing it. We in a time where the art is not as favorable. People are looking more towards the demonic sexualized aspect of community, and what they consider to be art is getting completely diluted. And a lot of people just don't have the same respect for what we do anymore. Things have changed drastically, at least from where I'm sitting.
I think there's two parts to that, right? So the first one about people, a lot of people, not writing. It depends on what you write for. Do you write for yourself, or do you write because you think it's going to make you rich? So a lot of people quit because they think, for whatever reason, I'm going to write this. I'm going to write this book, and it's going to be immediately a bestseller. So you're writing for the wrong reasons. You're writing. I mean, don't get me wrong. We all would hope, sell a book to Disney, sell a book to something, make a movie out of it, but those things are rare. So you got to write because you love to write. You got to write because you need to get those emotions out. And then the other part of that, what you're talking about, the change in writing, that's just this age we're in, this internet age, right? A lot of that is just because to rise up, to be heard, you got to be so outlandish. You got to be, you got to, what makes you different? What's going to make you go viral? And people think that the more outlandish, the more craziness that I speak is going to get me viral, and it's going to get me out there. So I think that's why you see a lot of that type of content.
Yeah. Funny thing about trying to make a name for yourself is you really don't understand the responsibility and the recourse that follows behind it. There's a lot of things that you have to deal with when your name and your face begins to get plastered over and over and over again in different places. There's going to be people, there's going to be trolls, there's going to be opinions, there's going to be thoughts, there's going to be a lot of um, obstacles that's going to come your way when it comes to trying to be in that specific spotlight. So you really got to be careful with your walk, your purpose, exactly what you're trying to put out there and convey to the people. And a lot of folks think that you can just say and push anything out here, which you can, but understand that there's some things that come with what you putting out there as well. So to each his own. I don't know if that's for everyone, but hey, I'm not knocking them. But the reason why we are here is because I came across a video clip on YouTube, which I kind of I stroll quite often. I have my hobbies. I have my things that I enjoy. And I was in I was watching a clip, and I'm gonna play it just for the people who are watching and don't understand the context of the title. Um, a lot of disparaging comments and opinions towards black men coming from sisters. And this isn't something that is just now being spoke on. People have been going back and forth with this for years now. But for me, I thought that it was time for me to share my thoughts on it. But I didn't want to just talk about this without actually sharing this with other people who might have a point of view that I'm not seeing, and I might get something out of it too. Because in all reality, what was posted, and I'm a speak my piece on it, but what was spoken in this video, it does not represent the entire community, but it's coming from somewhere. And I would like to try to figure out why, and if there's anything that we can actually do to kind of get around or get through this by actually finding some resolutions to these problems. So I'm gonna play this clip and let me know how you feel about it. I know I shared it with you, but I just want to play it one more time just so the people can kind of get where I'm going with this. And I see our other guest is in the building. I'm going to pull her up. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. How you doing? Can you hear me okay?
If you if you like, because I gave my brother a chance to introduce himself. For the people who don't know who you are, why don't you first of all thank you for attending this show. I appreciate you for coming out, for giving us your time, for sharing your thoughts and your wisdom on this conversation. It's not something that's spoken about very often in our community. So I thank you for taking time out of your day to pull up and rap with us.
No problem at all. It was my pleasure. Thank you for the invite.
So real quick, because I do have the video clip. I'm gonna play it and then we can just jump right into it. Why don't you introduce yourself to the folks? Let them know where they can find you at. Um, any background you want to give, the floor is yours.
Thank you, thank you. Well, my name is Ebony the Goddess. I'm a spoken word artist, poet, singer from Moss Point, Mississippi. I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But I've been doing spoken word for about 5 years now. I am a nationally nominated poet as well, and I basically just go around for the most part, the southern states as of now, but looking to branch out into doing other venues and things in the near future, possibly in 2024. I am, I guess you could say, a entrepreneur. I just released my first book this past September entitled Worth the Wait. It is available on Amazon. In 2021, I did release my very first spoken word album entitled Ebony Speaks. It's available on all streaming platforms and on bandcamp.com for purchasing if anybody's looking to get into that. And if anybody's looking to reach out to me, book me in any way, shape, or form, you can go to my website. That's ebonythegoddess.com, EBONYTHAGODDESS. And also, I can be reached by email at ebonythegoddess@gmail.com.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I love seeing the people, man, doing good in life. You know, it's not it's not easy. It takes a lot of discipline and a lot of knowing yourself, understanding your walk, having God in your corner in all directions, being focused. I love seeing it. I love seeing it. Congratulations on everything that you got going on, for real. So I sent y'all the video. So you've already got an idea of where we're going with this. I had to have a woman on here. I absolutely had to have a woman on here, especially since this topic is coming from one of our own sisters. It's 2023. We've gotten away from a lot of traditional ways of living. We've gotten away from how our grandparents raised us and their forefathers and et cetera, et cetera. Now we're in an age where ratchetness and just a bunch of dissension has seemed to have wreaked its ugly head everywhere in every single aspect of everything that we got going on. The men and women, for the most part, that I've seen largely fighting against each other instead of kind of trying to resolve these problems and find ways to help each other out instead of dismantling our families. So I'm going to play this video for the people who didn't get to see it. And it doesn't matter where we start. We can start up top and then go down, or we can start down and come up. Just let me know how you feel about everything that you heard. Do you disagree with anything that was said in this video? I see I got my other partner in here. All right. Hold up. I see you, sir.
Salutes. How y'all doing?
1 second. Mr. Okay, what's going on, brother?
What's going on? How's it going?
God is good. God is good. God is good, man. I'm glad you could pull up. This is going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to hearing everybody's thoughts on this video. Go ahead and give yourself a brief introduction. I know a lot of people are fairly new to each other here, so I think it's very important that we all kind of get to know each other while we're on this stream. So we have, you know, just this community here, and it's not all, you know, awkward. So you've been on a couple streams with me. Actually, matter of fact, let me say this. The brother that I just brought in, I've been knowing him for over 20 years. Went to high school together. We cut it up. We talk our shit. We joke around. Um, you name it, we've talked about it. Um, he's definitely someone that is going to be completely honest and blunt about anything and everything that he's going to speak on. And I gotta salute him and give him his flowers. Go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
How's everybody doing tonight? I'm Desperado. Um, I'm glad to be here. I'm looking forward to hearing everybody's take on the matter. So I mean, that's why we do these.
All right, all right. So I'm not gonna stall it out anymore. We're gonna jump right into this clip. Uh
Cool.
we'll start up top and then we'll go from Derek, we'll go down to Desperado, and then we'll go over. Let me pull this up.
Black women AIDS at a very high rate. Black men are unaliving black women at a very high rate. And now there's a new flavor of nigga out called incel.
You're right. We don't need black men. We are the most educated demographic in this country right now. We have started more business than any demographic in this country right now. We're doing great. We don't need anyone.
We was never gonna date you anyway.
Usually it's black men because black men are the only ones who seem to have a difficult time with, caring for someone other than themselves. You can't ask any of the male contacts that for money. Yes, it is time. Block, 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 block. The wax lady, your hairstylist, your landlord, your phone bill. Payment method is not good morning.
If you don't feel like you can help out with me and my kids, then we don't have anything to talk about.
For all you pick-me-shoes out there cooking and cleaning and making your boyfriends giant
Black men.
If you don't mind, I would like to hear the young lady's, Miss Ebony's opinion first before the two brothers go in.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. The women gonna be mad at me because although I understand where a lot of the disdain, because that's really what it is, a lot of the disdain is coming from the position that they're taking. I don't agree with. And when I say that, first and foremost, to understand how much black men have on them. You know what I'm saying? Um, to understand, I'm gonna just say this. I know someone that has committed suicide after dealing with a lot of stuff. We just gonna say that part. To understand how much black men have to go through with our expectations from the black woman, from our expectations. Um, all of the things that we want, I don't feel like what we want is the issue. It's what our understanding is of what we want. And I give you an example. We say that we want to be protected. Do we even know what protection from a black man looks like? Who taught you what protection from a black man looks like? You know what I'm saying? And when we go through every category of what a woman wants, when the black woman says, you can't do anything for me if you can't do anything financially for me, what does a black man taking care of you actually look like? Is it supposed to be financial? You know what I'm saying? What does a black woman look like when she is taken care of? And the same argument that we give black men saying that black men are looking for their mama, I'm starting to realize that black women are also looking for their daddy. And that's what they're holding the black man accountable for not being what their father wasn't for them. And they're putting that weight on the black man and not understanding that everything that we doing, men may fight with their hands, but women fight with their words. Tell me which one is going to leave a scar the longest, which one is actually going to have the deepest impact longevity wise. And this is not something that I just came across from watching this video. This is something that I've been kind of understanding over time with my dealings with black men. I actually have a poem called Ebony Listens that touches on a lot of the things that I'm speaking about. So this isn't just something that I'm speaking about just today. I have 2 black boys that I'm raising. They're going to be black men. And I had to hold the accountability of me being a black woman, having the same mentality of those women, understanding what I was doing to black men, making them feel like they had to be able to pay my bills. They had to take care of my kids. They had to do everything for me in order for me to want them, to even just, accept them into my life, to bring them into my life. And because I was able to sit in that accountability and actually hold space for that and think about it from a man's perspective, I know I can barely take care of myself. Why is it your responsibility to take care of me, a full grown human being? And this is also coming from a woman that has taken care of a man. I was taking care of my boys dad while I was pregnant with one and had another one in the crib right next to us. So I know what that feels like. I know what that looks like. So then for me to say as a black woman, oh, I went through all of this with him and it didn't work out. Now I want a man to be able to have to do that for me. No, I know what carrying the load feels like. It's not easy. It's not something that we were built to do. We're not built to take care of everybody. Every time we look at something, we always start outward and want to point the finger about what everybody else is not doing. But are you doing it for yourself? Are you able to do the same things, the same expectations you're saying these people are not doing for you? Can you do that for yourself and be solid in yourself? That's what all of this is about. I'm gonna stop right there because I can go deeper, but that's just, I'm sorry, ladies. I know y'all gonna be mad, but hey, y'all gotta hear it. And to be honest, we have to hear it from ourselves. We can't hear it from the men because we're not gonna listen to them. It's gotta come from us. It's gotta come from the woman's side for you to really feel me and understand where we coming from. You gotta get somebody that speaks your language for you to actually have that accountability and go through that same process to understand what you're doing and how to change, how to shift that mindset. We got to shift out of that mindset. Black women were not taken care of in the 50s and 60s. They were working with their men. So your mama went to work, your grandma went to work, your great grandma went to work. And guess what? They was working right alongside their men. And then coming home and cooking and cleaning. So I don't even want to hear that argument about, oh, he got to take care of me, because none of the females in your family was taken care of before you. And if you think that I'm lying, go ask them. I watched my grandma come from the crab house every evening to come home to cook and get the food ready for my granddaddy after he came from the paper mill. I watched it. So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to my generational lineage. But go find out what's going on in your family and then come back and holler at me. And I yield.
I guess I'll jump right in real quick. I think for me, when you have a family that has a foundation where someone is praying, when someone is constantly on the wall, when God is present in that household, there's rules, there's standards, there's morals, there's principles, there's things that are put in motion that prohibits your loved ones from going the extra mile with the things that can be very chaotic and can cause ripple effects later on down the line, because you have someone that doesn't spare the rod. In other words, ass whoopings, right? We don't want to enforce punishment. We don't want to go the extra mile to say, hey, this is wrong, this is right. We don't hold our people accountable for the lives that they choose to lead. Like, I'll give you an example. I have uncles. Now, in reality, uncles are supposed to be like second fathers. They're supposed to, jump on your case when the other parents aren't around. They're supposed to do certain things. And I'm not saying they're supposed to step in and be the parent, but when you have an actual tribe, then you're tight knit. You're like this. So you have other people around you that's going to say, hey, no, check that right there at the door. Men don't move like this. Women don't move like this. They don't act like that. That's not how we do it at all. Someone's there to check it. But somewhere along the way, between us, between social media, between the government and the establishments and powers that be, that we, for whatever reason, decided were qualified enough to lead us, qualified enough to tell us what was meant to be entertaining and what was not to be entertaining, tell us what laws we supposed to follow and not. When we decided that we weren't going to do certain things to correct the problems that's really obviously wrong, we then made it easily accessible for the enemy to infiltrate our spirits, our flesh, our minds, our households, our jobs, our careers, our walks. Once the devil is allowed to do whatever he wants to do within our lineage, what else can you possibly expect to happen? See, the devil, and I'm a spiritual person. I believe in God. I'm not the most holy Christian in the world because I sin too. But when you allow Satan to get in your head and tell you that certain things are okay, you can lust after whoever you want. You can sleep with whoever you want. It's okay to be loud. It's okay to be disrespectful. It's okay to be masculine towards a man that's supposed to be. And when you allow the enemy to tell you there's certain things that you can do that goes against the commandments, you create what we got in this video. This video is an example of the wickedness that's in our world, that's being allowed to run rampant in all of our community. Why do you think people are jealous? Why do you think people are combative? Why do you think black people have such a problem working together? We have to dress better than the next person. We have to wear or drive the better cars. We have to have the better jobs. We have to have the better looking women. We have to have the better swag, the better vocabulary. We have to be the most popular. We have to be all these different things in our community. But when it comes down to those higher ups that make these laws, that increase our taxes, that keep us in communities killing each other, we don't have much energy towards them. Even as we speak right now on this live stream, they monitor our conversations. They censor who they want to censor. They push whoever has the best financial gain for them. That's who they will deal with. That's who they will operate under. That's who they will allow to get away with certain things. Uncle Toms, snitches, people who will cater to whoever they want as long as it benefits them. We don't have no energy towards them, but black men ain't shit. Black women are hoes. Black women are masculine. Black women don't know how to be submissive. Black men don't know how to be men no more. Black men are simps, incels. Every name in the book we got for each other. But who's really saying why? Why are we like that? How did we get to this point? I don't feel. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna pass it. It's not a coincidence. Nothing that's happening right now is a coincidence. The reason why they're acting and speaking the way they're speaking is because it came from somewhere. There's always a root to a problem. Can't convince me otherwise. I turn it over.
All right. So I'm a little older than some of you in here. So Ebony said, in the 50s and 60s when we had, mothers and fathers and we had that black family. But then, so to get to the reasons, some of the reasons why, when crack hit, right? When crack hit, we lost a whole generation of dads. We lost a whole generation of black men. So at that point, and I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, women had to do what they had to do. But at that point, you had a lot of single moms. So then you had single moms raising kids. And when you do that, you only get one perspective because the black male is not in the house anymore. So then what happens is that daughter now is going off of what she was taught by a single mom because she has no other perspective because that guy's not there. So when you see women that's saying, well, I don't need a man because their mom didn't need a man. And that's what they think is the right way to go. And again, I'm not disrespecting single moms. Listen, you got to do what you got to do. But at the same time, when you get those, that's because of the breakdown of the black household. Right. And I coach kids all the time. We can and I coach young men, and we can see the difference when you got young men where there is, and I'm not saying it has to be the dad. It could be the dad, like you said, it could be the uncle. But there's a difference when you have a young man, especially a young black man, that doesn't have a male father figure. You don't got to be the father, but it could be an uncle. It could be somebody that's going to teach him how to be a man. Because at the end of the day, and again, no disrespect to any moms, but there's certain things that a woman can't teach a man, and there's certain things that a man can't teach a woman. I'm a father of girls, and there's when a girl gets whatever, when she first gets her period, let's say that, I don't know what to do. I'm a dad. I never felt none of that stuff a day in my life. So I can be a good dad, but I can't teach a woman how to be a woman. I can teach you how to be a good person. I can teach you how to do certain things, but there's certain other things that I just can't do. Same thing the other way. So a lot of things that happen is because we lost a generation of dads, and you had women raising women, and then you had emotional women because the dad is gone. Now I got to do all of this on my own. So they put all of that on their kids. So that's what you get. But then the second part of that is there's a ton of good black men out there. Like anybody in my circle, husbands, dads. If you got kids and you're not a dad, you're not in my circle, right? But you get women, again, not all women, but you get some women who think that they find this guy, every woman like the bad guy. Well, the bad guy's going to be a bad guy for a reason. And then you expect the bad guy to be a good guy. Well, he ain't. He ain't going to change. He going to do what he do. And then you're going to get mad because he did what he told you he was going to do. He got 50 women. He had 50 women before he met you. You thought you was going to take him from some other woman and change him to somebody that he wasn't. So women and men on both sides, we got to see, we got to choose better. But what we should be doing is, I shouldn't want to let me rephrase that. I shouldn't want to have to take care of you. You shouldn't have to take care of me. We should be a couple and take care of each other. Yeah, it's going to be times where I'm married, where my wife, if she needed, I got her back. Same thing. If I go through a hard time, she got my back. But it should be that. It shouldn't be, nah, he should do everything for me, because that's just going to lead to animosity. It's going to lead to things breaking down. It's going to lead to him saying, well, I'm taking care of everything now. I'm going to go get Samantha over here, or I'm going to go do this. What you going to do about it? I'm taking care of everything. It should never be about me taking care of you. It should be about us coming together to build something together. And it don't got to be equal. It could be 60, 40, 40, 60, whatever it is. But y'all need to come together to build. Or not y'all, we. And I'll pass because I'll keep going.
Well, that was real interesting. Everybody shared some eye-opening stuff. I'm gonna tell you, but pretty much to piggyback off of what you said up there, Mr. Derek, man, is we got to be a team. You know what I'm saying? We got to be a team. I think it starts with self. It starts with yourself. But as far as kids is concerned, in my opinion, I feel like before you even get to that part, you know what I'm saying, you got to look at the person and see how they are sustaining themselves. You know what I'm saying? Could you take care of yourself? Like you touched on down there, Miss Ebony, when you said that if somebody could take care of themselves, then we can kind of like move forward and get to a family setting. But I feel like the main thing about that video is it's a lot of different perspectives on what a household should be or what a family should be. Everybody got like different takes. Like, I think he should pay all the bills and then we'll be together. No. And then somebody say, well, I think he should pay, we should go 50-50. And we, so it's like, we all broken down. And I think like what you touched on, as long as we come together, we got to come together so we can be there for the kids. The kids is the one that's suffering the most, because a boy needs a man in his life. A girl needs a woman in her life. And together we need to be what we saw kind of growing up. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what's missing. We're not coming together. We so divided with stuff like the child support system. You know what I'm saying? Like, child support come in, it's like the man automatically leave the home. The woman be on welfare. She getting all these support from the system for her kids and all of that. And I mean, it just breaks up families, you know what I'm saying? But in the end, the kids still need, that support, the real support. The real support is just somebody being in their life every damn day. You know what I'm saying? They waking up seeing mama. They waking up seeing dad. You know what I'm saying? That's all a kid really need growing up. They need the present. They need you to be present in their life. Absence create problems. If you're not in somebody's life, it's gonna be a problem. If it's a single parent household, mom or dad, if you really being honest, you're gonna look inside your kid. If you know your kid, you're going to see some emptiness there. It's just the way it is. Because as a man or as a woman, you can honestly say you had to come and join forces with another human being to bring in to create a life on this earth. So at the end of the day, if you can do that together, then people should put their differences aside and be a team and give the kid the support and love that it need to grow up. And that comes down to the individual itself in these situations. If you can't work on self, then you can't be a team. You can't be a team player. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can't see the forest for the trees, it's never gonna work. It's never gonna work out. You know what I mean? So it comes down to a community. As a community, we have to really look at our own issues, and I think our issues really started with our own past, our own background, the way we was raised. Every grown person, every parent is a reflection of their past and how they was raised. You know what I'm saying? They choose to make certain decisions based off how they was brought up, who was in their life. You know what I'm saying? Did you have grandparents? Did you spend most of your time with your dad? Was you always with your mom? It's going to show. You know what I'm saying? How you problem solve, how you think through life's difficult challenges. All of that stuff plays a part in how we move out here. So I just feel like, man, we need to kind of put it on the table. Like I think I just saw a video interview with Young Jeezy, man, and he just was like, it's hard for a man to, you know what I'm saying, lay his issues down with, I'm gonna just say, in our community, the black man and the black woman, without being ridiculed and saying, man, oh man, you weak as hell, man. You know what I'm saying? You need to suck it up. You need to be a man. You know what I'm saying? But we human. You know what I'm saying? We go through shit too. If our lady, whoever our lady is, and she want us to be. All these women say they want their man to be their rock. You gotta be my pillow. You know what I'm saying? Like let me put my problems down sometimes and accept me right here. You know what I'm saying? Without ridiculing me, naming me, backdooring me. You know what I'm saying? All the stuff that we do, we tear each other down in the community, and then we wonder why in the end it ain't no support, or we always find ourselves in these situations when you got to bring up the next generation that's looking at this stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you got sons or you got daughters, they got to be able to come to their parents and tell them, look, this happening, that's happening, that's going on. So if your own kids can't tell you, or supposed to tell you, why couldn't the person you created them with tell you, or whoever you dealing with? It's supposed to be, like you said up top, supposed to be a team. Without a team, it's hard. It's hard to score those 50 points by yourself. It takes all of us. So without one team, one dream. So if you can't hear me out, then hey, it's a solo act. It's tough being a solo act. So I mean, with that being said, we uh we really do gotta work on just working together and hearing each other. You know what I'm saying? So we can pass that down to the youth, because if they don't see it for themselves, they're not going to practice it with themselves, and they're not going to be able to do when they grow up. So we need to focus on that the most, coming together and hearing each other's out, hearing each other's issues out, because we all are different and we all got a background. That's it. I'm gonna pass it.
There's a saying, right? If you tell God your plan, He's going to laugh. Or I forgot exactly how it goes, but you get the gist. But it's the same way the other way. Like, I think part of the problem is you can't. We people go into relationships with expectations of what it's going to be, And no two people is the same. You can't expect person A to be like person C to be like person D. So the relationship is going to be different because the people is different. You got to go in with your, if you go in looking for this and then it don't go exactly the way you want it, that's when things also break down.
Yes, it's back to me, huh? I definitely agree with everything that y'all said, and being a single mother that's out here doing it on my own, that is still uh out here in the dating scene, I guess you could say. I'm not really out here, but I guess I'm out here. um I can say so many different things, but I've learned we've got to stop looking at people general. We've got to, instead of trying to, because that's one of the biggest issues with all of these women in those videos too. Every single video, those women were talking about specific men, but they're taking it and they're generalizing all of these different things that happen to them by one, two, maybe three people, and they're using that to describe the whole race of black men. So I want people to kind of think about it in that way too. When you meet somebody, learn that individual. So when something happens, if you're hurt by it, if you're traumatized by it, you know how to put that particular situation with that individual, as opposed to blaming every other person for what this person did, or not even blaming them for taking it out, taking out whatever this particular individual did. Understand how to separate. Once you're done with this individual, don't just move on to another individual with that same trauma, carrying that same weight, because that weight, all you doing is you, instead of healing from stuff, you're sitting here and adding more stuff. You got a bag of weight here, and you just say every time you get something, okay, let me throw two more rocks in here because this individual hurt me. Let me throw two more rocks in here. I went through this with the last person, but I still didn't heal from it. So let me add this rock onto it. So now I got three rocks for the same type of hurt, and I'm just compiling all of this stuff together. And then I finally get to the person I'm really supposed to be with, that I went through all those obstacles to get with, and now he's got to be the person to sit here and sort out and help me heal from all this mess. When you were supposed to be healing through every situation, every season, you were supposed to be going through a season of healing and healing from that situation in order to be prepared for the next situation that was supposed to come. But because you didn't heal, you hurting the person that was sent to love you. You taking advantage of the person that was sent to help you, to be your teammate, to be the person that was supposed to help you, not take care of you. Let's make that clear. Not take care of you. The person sent to help you to the next phase of your life. And you can't even get to the next phase of your life because the person that was sent to help you grow can't even do what they were sent to do. They got to sit here and pay for all of this other stuff that's going on. If we talking about planting, if the soil isn't fit for the next season, for the next harvest, you're not gonna be able to get no food. You can't eat. So it's the same situation when you're thinking about relationships. And that's what I had to come to terms with. I had to realize that everything that happened, not just things that happened with the men that I actually dated, this is also stuff that's stemmed from my childhood. I had to go all the way back to as far as I could think of. That time that my daddy told me he was going to come and he didn't come, and I sat in the window all day on my birthday waiting for him. Yeah, I had to go back and heal that 4-year-old girl. I had to heal that 5-year-old girl, that 7-year-old girl. I had to heal the 8-year-old girl that had to listen to my mama talk about everything that my daddy did to her, and sitting here reliving all of the stuff that she went through, trauma that I wasn't even there for. I endured it with her coming back and telling me these stories as a child. And that's the same thing. It's We hear it as a child and we don't realize that we're also adding that into our bag of weight too. We're carrying that stuff with us. And when you become an adult, you don't even realize you got trauma that wasn't even yours, that you done hauled all the way up to the to the fact that you're 18, and now this one individual, this older man that know you're not mature enough to be with him first and foremost, come, yes, he may be manipulating you, but you also doing something that you know you're not supposed to do. Your mama, your grandma, your auntie, somebody in your family told you not to be fooling with that old man, but you did it anyway, and you adding more weight. Every time you do something with somebody, I'm trying not to cuss y'all. Every time you do something with somebody, that's adding really 2 or 3 stones in your bag. Because the soul ties that you're taking with you when you're not mature enough to even understand what's going on, what you're doing to your body, that stuff is coming with you too. So I'm gonna land right there because I'm really on the verge of cussing. But yeah, it's some deep stuff here. Okay, learn yourself. Okay, heal yourself so you can grow yourself. You are not any good for anybody if you don't know who you are as an individual. And how you gonna teach somebody to learn how to love you if you don't even know how to love you? How you going? Because the man is not gonna come knowing how to love you. He's got to learn how to love you too, and it's your responsibility to be able to tell him how to love you. So you've got to learn how to love yourself first. So then when he comes in, all he's gonna do is add to the value of love that you're able to receive. So yeah, I'm gonna stop right here.
A lot of a lot of gems. A lot of gems. I feel like I'm in a weight room right now. I need to give me some push-ups in. Hold up. I want to say when because I tend to always fall back to the spiritual aspect of it more because the experiences that I've encountered along the way. A lot of people are broken. A lot of people are hurt. A lot of people are taught the wrong thing, been lied to and led astray, which happens to the best of us. If you've lived this long, you've seen some stuff. And what typically happens is, you know, you might have seen something and it rubbed off on you and you carried it along the way the older you got. Or someone introduced you to something and you picked up a habit that you never had before and now you have to break out of it. It always comes back to something spiritual. You always got God there and you always got Satan there. Your best friend could have been the reason why you ended up smoking and doing drugs. Or your best friend could have been the reason why your life got spared from something. That boyfriend or that girlfriend that you decided to lay down with could have been the best thing that ever happened to you, or could have been the worst thing that ever happened to you, and it just completely changed how you see relationships. It changes how you see friendships. It changes how you see yourself. It alters your personality. You find yourself trying to be a people pleaser. You're trying to identify your own identity within dealing with different people. One thing that I've learned is that if you have a certain mindset or you have this thing to where you always end up dealing with the same type of person, it's a familiar spirit. You don't know it's a familiar spirit because you're operating from a worldly perspective. When you start to discern and you know the difference between what is what, that's when the hard part comes because now you have to deal with your own self. the self-loathing, confusion, trying to figure out why I keep on attracting this type of energy, this type of person. And then you have to really start saying, "Oh, damn, this is on me. A lot of this is my fault. A lot of this that's coming to me is because of choices and habits and addictions that I have that I didn't realize I had, or maybe I know I got them, but because I enjoy them, I want to continue to live in it. I want to continue to be sinful. I want to continue to be lustful. I want to continue to chase after things I know is wrong for me. I know I'm not supposed to smoke, but it just does something to me. It made me feel good, even just for a couple minutes. But you just punishing yourself. You punishing and punishing yourself. But along the way, while you punishing yourself, you're punishing other people around you. This is the part that I wanted to bring into the equation as well. Because while these ladies are speaking the way they're speaking, their mindset, the way they're carrying themselves, the way that they're projecting this out to the community is coming off as if it's the answer. It's what younger women need to hear. It's what men need to hear. They're putting it out into the community to the point to where I'm supposed to look at this as a blueprint for the type of wife I would want, or this is what I would want my son to have, or what I would want my daughter to be around. People like Chris Brown and Sexy Red and folks that preach and talk about promiscuity as if it's like some sort of achievement of the most high, and you're just going to get rewarded with all of the greatest things that you could ever imagine in life. They're really just, I don't want to say they're evil, but it boils down to a lot of demonic stuff. And hey, this is just me personally. If you, how can I say this? I know my strengths and my weaknesses. I know what will hinder me from getting promoted or elevated to the next place in my life. I know what's going to keep me from getting married. I know what's going to keep certain friends from coming into my atmosphere. I know what's going to keep me alone. I know what's going to bring me income. I know what's going to separate me from God. I know this. Why? Because I did the work. I was alone. I was away from people. God removed people out of my life that brought me a lot of discomfort, things that I didn't agree with. Hanging around people that I was like, damn, I don't think that's funny, but you think this is funny. Something's not lining up here. Why am I still hanging around this type of a person? Oh, you like to sleep with other people's such and such. You like to do you like to gossip. You like, no, that don't really resonate with me. I don't think I'm really the type of person that wants to be around stuff like that. You pick up on certain nuances about yourself that you wouldn't see. So there's a good side and a bad side to being hard-headed and stubborn. And unfortunately, they're probably going to learn the hard way. What they're speaking on is not helping. It's just only hurting and making it come off as if, first of all, we're all ignorant. We don't know how to communicate. We don't know how to deal with trauma. We don't know how to not be aggressive. We don't know how to conduct ourselves as human beings and not animals. We don't know how to take care of our families. We don't know how to take care of our loved ones. We don't care about our women. We don't care about ourselves. That's what is coming off like. And people are listening to it, and they're feeding it. And they're feeding it and feeding it. And then that spirit is getting passed on to someone else, and then spirit is going to get passed on to someone else. And here we are. So I mean, y'all said a lot. Everyone on here said a lot, and I agree with everything that everyone said. It's just it definitely starts with self, but also at some point, yeah, you had things happen to you when you were a child. I had things happen to me when I was a child. But you do get older. God willing, you get to a certain age. You have to actually want to do the work yourself. At some point, you can't rely on someone else to get you to where you need to go. Now, you might have folks that might influence you in certain ways, but if you want to be a better version of yourself, if you want to be healed, if you want to be free, if you want to be clear-minded, where you're not easily manipulated by every single thing that you see on TV, because everything that we talk about and everything that we hear people speak on doesn't necessarily mean it's the truth. And it's not necessarily meaning that it's with the best intent. Someone could be talking to you right now or tomorrow, and they could say all of the most beautiful dressed up things in the world, but you don't know that there's little subtleties within their conversations, within their speech that's subliminally poisoning you, that's altering something in you to make you think a certain way. People really don't understand how clever the devil is. You watch a Foot Locker commercial. You see some nice shoes on there that you wasn't thinking about spending no money, but you end up seeing something on one of these commercials. Now you want them. Now you gotta have it. It's the same thing. People really have to be careful with what they put out here in the atmosphere and in the world. And that's one of my biggest issues with their statements, because inevitably it affects everyone. It might not affect you directly at the time, but it will eventually reach you in some way. Okay, I concede.
All right. So the that videos, and I'm speaking just specifically to that video, right? That video was just a bunch of clips. So one, we don't even know the content of what those women was really trying to say. Those things could have been part of bigger discussions. They could have been something else. So somebody edited that clip or that video to make a point. So I think that's 2023, almost 2024. That's why you got to be careful of what you see on the internet, because 99% of it ain't real. So somebody, whoever that person was, edited that clip together to make us all have this conversation, to make us all think that all women, all black women, think that all black men is this. When in reality, if we could find the 10 original clips, maybe 2 of them was really saying it, but maybe the other 8 women was part of a bigger discussion, or it wasn't that what the point that that video was trying to make was maybe the opposite of what those women was truly trying to make, but we don't know that because of the way that video was edited together. So to your whole point about uh the devil and spaces, and so we all got to be aware of the internet is not real, and especially with younger kids, you got to be aware of what you're consuming and what you're putting into your mind and into your soul, because that video, for all we know, them 10 women wasn't even trying to make that point, but somebody put it together to try to denigrate us as a people. I'll let you go.
Yeah, I agree with that. Um, I really think that's the bottom line to that clip as well. We got to pay attention, man. It just seems like it's a lot of negativity and stuff pointed towards just our race in general as a whole, and it's just another excuse why we should stay apart and keep us separated and not come together in the end. Because I mean, if we was more united, we you wouldn't even see no clips like that. That's just the bottom line. You know, we got to do better being united and fixing our issues, because we all have issues. Those women, I'm pretty sure they had experiences. They got stories a mile long. You know what I'm saying? So everybody got to do some improvement. I'm gonna say self improvement. If you want better, you got to try to aim and strive for better. So I got I got two boys. You know what I'm saying? I try my best to show them the way, but like I told them, one day it's gonna be on you. It's gonna be on you. You gonna be in my shoes one day, and the ball gonna be in your court. They ain't gonna step out the way. You gotta shoot your shot. You know what I'm saying? That's how life goes. They go from one generation to the next. We can't hold their hand forever. As parents, we cannot hold their hand forever. It's a big world, and as much as you might want to, a part of raising them, you got to step away. You got to step out the way, because if you don't, you're never going to see the work you put in. You're never going to notice what you meant to them if you don't do that. So I'm already kind of prepared for that. So it is what it is. But yeah, back to that clip. Like, we they got we gotta notice that negativity. It was just real negative. Um, a negative take. Of course, you got your good and your bad people out here, but the way I look at it is, people just got to do what's best for them, and choose what's best for them. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody don't go together, but experience is the best teacher. And if you got the experience, and to learn from your faults, then I don't think people should make the same mistakes twice. They shouldn't make the same mistakes twice. They should learn from their own experiences and do better. But that's tough though. Tough topic.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you with people focusing on themselves. I think that basically, like Derek said, that was the first thing that I thought when I first saw the video was, I wonder if I could find all of these videos to see what context they were speaking in, because it's easy for somebody to say something out of I don't know, out of, or repeating something. They could have been reading something in the comment section. They could have been saying something sarcastically, or making a joke out of something else, eh, or making a joke out of something else, and it is been blown out of proportion. However, I can say some of the things in those videos I've actually heard black women say. And that's why I took the stance that I did for this particular uh, broadcasting, because I know women like that, that think those things and have this mentality. And I just wanted to, shed light on the fact that men go through a lot. If a woman tried to shoot her shot at a man and is rejected one time, she'll never shoot her shot again. How many times, ladies, do y'all think these men shoot their shot at women before they actually hit the goal? You know what I mean? And we shut down after that one time. So it's something as simple as that. Then when we talk about the financial situation, I have 2 kids. If I go out to eat with my 2 kids, I'm spending over $100 just to eat. Y'all want to go out to eat at places that cost $100 a plate to eat and expect these people that make less than $20 an hour, sometimes around $20 an hour. Y'all think y'all can go on a date every day of the week and eat this expensive food? Y'all don't want Cheesecake Factory. Y'all don't want what's the other place? Ruby Tuesday. Y'all don't want Chili's. Y'all don't think these are date worthy places, but y'all want to go and eat steak and lobster and shrimp and crab legs and all of this stuff every day. Ain't nobody got that kind of money. And if they do, they don't got it to eat every time, every time you want to go out to eat. So my thing is, as the woman, if you're gonna ask a man to take you out on a date and you have expectation of where he's gonna take you, if you're not eating that on a regular, why should you ask that man to take you out to that place? You know what I mean? If this is something that you can't afford yourself for yourself, why are you expecting a man to be able to do that? Those are the type of mentalities that we've got to break. Thinking that because, oh, I can't do this for myself, he's got to do it for me. If you can't buy that weave, why he got to buy your weave? You don't need it. Look, I'm good. This 2 years of growth right here, just 2 years. Okay, we can do it, ladies. We don't need all that stuff. I ain't got no eyelashes. My brows, I got a unibrow right now. Guess what? I'm unbothered. I still go on dates with the unibrow. I don't have any problems with that. Okay, I choose to stay at home tonight because I want to be with my kids. It's nothing wrong with that. And this high class mentality that we have, we got to break that, ladies. We've got to stop having our children with these quick weaves at 6 years old. I'm sorry. I'm tired of seeing these little girls with quick weaves and the I can't even remember the styles, y'all. It's sickening seeing these little girls and these Daisy Dukes. Y'all have y'all babies and stuff y'all can't wear. You can't wear this stuff. So you put it in your 2 and 3-year-old baby and have your baby looking like a grown. Please stop it. Please, please. I'm sorry. I know I went off topic, but I had to address that. The Most High said this to say it. But trailing back to the topic. The only other thing I wanted to mention was that men, I do know that we put a lot on y'all as a black woman, a single black woman raising 2 black men. We love y'all. It's crazy as it sounds and delusional as it sounds. We still love y'all. If you don't believe it, whenever it's the Black Lives Matter situations, anytime there's a black man that's slain in the streets or something, it don't even have to be, dealing with a different race. It can be our own black men. We show up for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Black women are at the crime scene before the police. Every single time. So we may not love y'all in the way that we need to. We're learning. Be patient with us. Give us empathy because we still learning how to love ourselves. Like he said, a lot of women have been having to do it on their own. We don't know how to love ourselves either. And that's why we put so much on y'all, because we're expecting y'all to give us the love that we can't give ourselves. So be patient with us as well. Ladies, learn how to give empathy, learn how to receive empathy as well. And I feel like we just on another notch. We learning slowly, but we getting there. We're gonna get to the mountaintop. So hey, I'm signing out. This Ebony the Goddess. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you for pulling up. Definitely. I'm glad that we was able to, especially hearing it from and seeing it from the eyes of a melanated sister. These are the type of conversations that should be had I have one more question, and we can close out. You can keep it brief if you want. Just one last question. Um, and we'll go around. My question is, why is it an issue when men try to hold women accountable? Why is it that you can't hear it from us, but it's different if it's coming from you?
Wait a minute. What's the question for me? Wait a minute. Okay, so
No, it's
I'm.
the
Oh, it's for
question.
anybody.
Yeah. I'm just curious because you know we have all these podcasts, Red Pill podcasts, et cetera, and then I notice a lot of people get very offended when men speak on certain things that we see. Like if it's true, it's true, but you take criticism better if it's coming from a woman. Which I mean, if that's how it's going to be, then fine. But a lot of women refuse to do that anyway. They live in denial, and they'd rather lie to you and continue to tell you that being a 304 is okay when it really isn't. I'm just asking in general. Any whoever want to answer, cool. Just in general, why do you think it's like that?
I'm gonna get in here real quick because I got a good one for you. The way I think about accountability is just like breathing. If I'm dying and I can't breathe, you can put some air in me, but is it going to sustain my life? It's not. It's up to me. The sustainability of my life has to come from within me. There are some things that people can do to help you, but it's not going to be a long-term effect. It's going to be short term and maybe for a few minutes, but it's only supposed to do enough to, to get you back on track. And I feel like accountability is the same way. You can't force feed me accountability. You know what I'm saying? Um Accountability and criticism are similar, but they can sound very much different depending on who it's coming from. Uh Being a woman, when I've had men try to give me constructive criticism, I didn't feel like it was giving me constructive criticism. If I give you the perfect example, because I'm pretty sure a lot of women can relate to this. If I come in from work, I'm tired, I'm telling you about my day, but I'm also telling you some of the problems that went along in my day. While I'm telling my story, while I'm venting, you interject and tell me, well, you should have did this. Why didn't you do this? I think you should have did that. I'm not asking your opinion. I didn't ask you to resolve my situation. All I'm simply doing is telling you how my day was. Because you want to resolve the issue before you fully hear what I'm saying, when it's not really something that I'm coming to you to resolve. That's where the issue comes from men versus women. Women, because we speak the same language, like I was saying earlier about the speaking the same language, a lot of times women know the difference between the venting and when I'm actually needing your help, because we speak the same language. For most men, when they hear us vent, they assume, or for them, they feel as if, I don't even want to say assume, they feel as if you're coming to them with a problem that they need to resolve. And you go in go mode immediately. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's do this. Here's the plan. This is what it, That ain't what's going on here. I just need you to listen. All I need you to do is just listen to what I'm saying. And a lot of times those wires get crossed because when men are trying to vent, women don't hear it as if men are venting. We hear it as something completely different, and it's the same vice versa. And that I think that's just something that two individuals, we're going back to the individual, two individuals have to learn how to communicate with each other. And that's where learning each other. You have to know yourself first to be able to communicate. Hey, I'm not looking for you to resolve this issue. I just need you to listen while I'm vent. Oh, you're venting. Okay, cool. Now I'm putting my listening hat on. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't even get past that point because when women are having this particular situation going on, they're only thinking about how they feel in that moment. They're not thinking about, oh, well, let me tell him I'm venting before I go. I'm just going to start talking because I need to get this off my chest. But the man hears, oh, this is an issue. She's talking. I hear the tone in her voice. The tone in her voice tells me she's in distress. I need to fix the issue. And the wires get crossed. So that's one of the things that I have noticed as far as the accountability thing. And then a lot of times men come with the coach mentality. I've actually dated a coach and I had to tell him like, hey, I'm not one of your boys. Like I understand why you do it. However, can we change the way you talk to me, because it makes me feel as if you're talking to me like I'm one of your boys on the team. I'm not that. you know. So that's why I said the individual, it has to come from men to just this individual. I need you to understand this is what I need. And then, okay, well, if you need me to tell you I'm venting in this moment, okay, I can practice doing that. Just know, give me grace and understand it's gonna take me some time to get used to, hey babe, I need to vent. You know what I'm saying? So it's that type of scenario. But yeah, that's all I got on that for now.
All right. I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna close out. I hear you, and I receive what you're saying. Um, I guess we can all agree that women are more emotional based and men are more logical based. I just want to respond to what you said, so there's like a little clarity as to, and maybe I'm wrong, but me speaking personally, if I've ever been in a situation, and I have numerous times, if a woman that I'm speaking with comes to me with a concern or grievances, I'm listening. I'm very intent, but I'm a problem solver. I like solutions. See, while you're expressing hurt or anger or frustration, I don't want you to have that problem. I want you to be okay. So when I give you advice or I come back and I say, well, hey, maybe you should try this, or maybe this is, I'm doing it I'm doing it from a space of, I'm trying to give you some solutions so you don't have to come home pissed off and angry and frustrated all the time. Let me help you out because essentially I'm an extension of you. So why would I want you to be, going through stuff? If I can help, then that's what I'm going to do. But you snapping at me and getting aggressive and combative with me is only making the problem worse. It's not helping. So by the end of it, you mad, I'm frustrated because like, damn, I'm just trying to help her out. She acting ungrateful. Like shit, what you want me to do? All right, I'm not gonna say nothing else. I'm gonna go ahead and let you do what you gotta do, and I'm just gonna listen. I hope that helps a little bit. Maybe it's just me. I don't know about anybody else, but yeah.
It's definitely not just you. I think that's just the way guys was raised, right? We was raised to there's a problem, fix it. And we just don't understand how you can vent about a problem and not try and fix it. That's just like you just want to and you're right. We all got to communicate because sometimes you just want us to listen and feel sorry or whatever, but I think that's just the way guys was raised. Like uh, we were just raised to if there's a problem, fix the problem, address the problem so there is no problem. So I agree with you. But I've been told that before. But yeah, well, I don't need you to fix my problem. I just need you to listen. That's just that just goes against everything we was taught. And
Yeah,
eventually we all shut up and just listen.
that's just a guy thing though. You know, that's how we are. We don't want to sit because I mean it's like if we hear you, but it's like okay, we can't do nothing about it. It's like, Dad, what we gonna look at ourselves like? Why are you here? What are you here for? Why you with her for? You ain't getting it done. You ain't coming up with a solution. You ain't making her feel better. So it's like you're useless. As a man, you'll feel useless if you can't solve that issue because that's why you're with her or vice versa. Like, you know, we have burdens, you know what I'm saying? And it come back to the trust and we expect y'all to, receive some of the, our little frustration or we had a bad day or something like that. We should be able to, turn to our partner and lay our frustrations down. So I mean, it go both ways, but at the same time, it's like you know everybody want to help the other person, but it's
Yeah, at the end of the day, man, it's all about healing. It's all about finding answers. It's all about the truth, trying to find the actual truth, bringing it to the forefront, bringing some balance back, to a world that's really just out of pocket and just getting worse and worse. The reason why I enjoy doing these is because it gives it gives me an opportunity to learn something that I otherwise wouldn't have prior. It helps me improve on my communicational skills. It also brings more awareness to our community that's it's not as small as I thought it was. I'm still looking around and seeing people that I've never met before, and I've been on these social platforms for a very long time, and I'm just now coming across people like yourself and Derek and my man right here. Like so, I enjoy, and I'm getting as I get older, I get more hungry for information. I get more hungry for meeting people and branching out and just having these discussions. So I thank all of you, man, for pulling up. I know I reached out to y'all a day before. Like I try to do things days ahead of schedule. I don't like doing short notice stuff. But it's Friday. I ain't had to go to work today. I thought they was gonna make me go in. And when I found out I was off, I was happy as hell. And I had to do something special for Friday. So who better to bring on here than the four that's in the chat right now, man? Um, if you're not following each other, I highly encouraged that you do, man. We definitely got to work together again at some point. I'm always available to everybody. My DMs are open. My email's open. I'm not hard to reach out to. Good show, man. Good show. Hell of a good show. That being said, this is Assembly of Excellence. You guys have a blessed night. I'm probably going to be messaging you after the stream. But y'all have a blessed night. If you need to reach out to me, you know how to. I'll talk with you soon. Oh yeah, just one more thing. Tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Three Kings, the Kings table. We pulling up. Blue Flames Report, Quest Reads. We pulling up. We're gonna put on another show. If y'all a good one. Yeah, that's pretty much that, man. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody who thank you for sharing the stream out. Y'all have a good one. And we out.
Hey, nice working with everybody on here, man. One team, one dream. We're gonna do this again. We'll do it again.
Yeah. Thanks. Good to meet you all.
Yeah, because y'all scared me with this conversation. I was like, I don't want to talk about that. They had me the only female